Drivers Mate podcast, back with another one. Please like, subscribe and share if you could. It would help a lot with the algorithm and help small YouTube creators permeate the internet and the algorithm, right? Keeping real people real, freedom of speech free, and not suppressed by big media companies and bigger channels that are scripted with paid for opinions, right? These are just real opinions from a geezer in a van, keeping it real as it should be, right? So if you like that idea, please like, subscribe and share. It not only helps me, it helps other content creators like me by telling the algorithm you want to see more of these types of channels, right? So with that in mind, check me out on all the social platforms, Drivers Mate podcast or Drivers Mate, right? So today, what I have for you is another reaction video. I know, right? People request them, they think these are good videos, so I'll do more of them, right? You get to understand a bit of how I think and just my opinion on things, right? Sometimes I don't have an opinion. Sometimes I'm just flat responsive. Who cares, right? You're here to be entertained, then that's what I shall do, right? On your journey, on your commute today, let's have a laugh, right? So, how I usually do this is I pick a YouTube short at random, and whatever comes up, comes up. You get my initial reaction, then I give my opinion, right? So, let's get into it.
They put like a 75, 80 page contract in front of you, right? You see the check in front of you on the table. So you're just trying to sign whatever the fuck they want you to sign so you can get that check. I'm literally signing my life away because I'm only looking at 3 pages of an 80 page contract. There's only 3 pages giving me what I want. I'm not paying attention at the other 77 pages giving them what they want. But I'm an artist, I'm hungry, I'm young. I just want to be able to say, I signed a deal, right? I'm in New York. We signed a deal and we go out in the hallway, right? Like we'll go out in a minute and talk. We go out and we high five and be like, yeah, we did this shit. And we see KRS-One coming down the hallway. Oh shit, I'm signing the deal and here comes KRS-One, one of the most dominant figures in hip hop at that time. And we introduce ourselves, hey, we're UGK, Pimp C, I'm Bun B, we came over here to sign. And give you like, did y'all sign yet? And I was like, yeah, we just signed. Fuck, man. Good luck, young man.
Oh, damn.
Put like a 75, 80 page contract in front of you, right? You see the check in front.
All right, so that was legendary Bun B. If you know about rap music, Houston music, he's from a group called UGK, Underground Kings, right? A legendary rapper. Still prominent in society today, but more through his work and his speaking than his music, right? So that out of the window, out of the way, right? So, what is the essence of what's being said here? So he's basically highlight, without saying too much because he didn't go fully into it, or in this clip he didn't anyway, he's basically highlighting bad business practices in the music industry, right? Which is rife. It always has been, and it probably will always be, unfortunately, right? So in the early 90s and late 80s, right? Well, and early 80s actually, hip-hop artists, particularly in America and even in Europe a bit, right, have been majorly exploited through record companies and record contracts, right? Now, this doesn't stop at hip-hop artists, of course not, right? Because some of the earliest, versions of these things were happening in doo-wop groups, right? Jazz, rock, pop music has always been like the music business has always been a parasitic business, yeah? It's business people and mafia people and mobsters and you name it, politicians, all getting together to exploit creatives and musicians, right? And the reason they've been able to do this for so long is that musicians and artists don't have the means of which to fund and produce stuff themselves, right? So just like if you're going to start a business and you don't have your own capital to start, you go out and you get a loan, right, from a bank or angel investment company, right? And it's essentially the same thing that happens for music artists, right, at a small level and at a big level. What they have to do is they make whatever they make, or if they're able to, if they have the resources to make what they make or not, they go and get a loan from somebody or some group, right? A building society, a corporation, an individual, a drug dealer, you name it, right? Whoever's got the finance to finance this idea will give money, and then he will take his money back plus some interest. That's how it should go, right? Because it's a fair deal. If you're going to lend money, you expect your money to be a return on your investment, right? And fair, it should be a fair shake, right? But it never really was, right? And the problem with that is the legality, right? Now, there's so much information and history of the music business that I would love to break down, but I can't do it all in a reaction video. because it's just off the cuff. I would like to have it all there, thought about already, even though that's not really my style, right? I just want to keep it real raw, keep it moving, right? But that aside, shady music business practices are rife, right? Even artists today that are being signed are probably just as much, if not more, exploited than artists in the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, you name it, yeah? Going right up to the beginning of written music, then to, I think it's gramophone, right? Whatever you call it, right? From written music to recorded music, artists have been exploited, right? Now, it's much deeper and much harder to get your head around nowadays because of the amount of litigation and writing language written in these contracts, right? What it says, why it says what it says, who gets what. And some of these people have signed away their rights in perpetuity, right? That means you belong to somebody else forever. Your work, your copyrights, your masters, whatever you want to call them, belong to somebody else forever. And a lot of the times, artists are not educated in business, and they're most certainly not solicitors, right? Entertainment lawyers, they're definitely not. They know a little bit. So they get finessed, they get taken for a ride, and a lot of the times it's not just the record company that does over the artist, it's the management, it's the producing, it's all of it, right? So if you're not in the game to learn, like we talked about in another video, you take the hard way or you take the easy way. If you go the easy way, you neglect learning everything you need to know to not get taken for a fool, right? So you give up all of your rights for the fame, right? You give up all of your majority of your money for the success, just enough to be flashy, just enough to enjoy life, right? And it has its purposes, right? But if you go the other way, you learn, right? You make trustworthy connections with business people, solicitors, entertainment lawyers, and all of that stuff, all of that good publishing stuff, right? Good business practices, and you concede a level of fame, right? You concede a level of finances, but you can sleep at night that you're not getting robbed, right? Even though you probably are, right? Because when it comes to placing value on something, only there's a supply and demand, right? And then there's what the artist says it's worth, right? Now, if the artist is confused or is manipulated into thinking it's worth less than it is, then of course he's going to get less. But if the artist is aware of what it's worth, then he can charge what he's worth, right? And then your manager gets a good cut, your publisher gets a good cut, the record label gets a decent cut, right? Everyone's happy. But if there's a break in that chain, then you get these bad contracts, like all these 90s rappers, all your favorite pop stars, even your actors, right? There's a lot of actors that are leading roles, significant roles in a lot of old movies, right? For instance, actually I won't throw them under the bus like that, right? For instance, there's actors that get paid a certain amount up front, like say the film is going to be 50 grand to produce the film, right? As an independent, this is independent level, right? So they're going to give this leading actor 5 grand, and that's it, right? No residual, just enough to get you through this recording process, and that's it. Now, they do that to a lot of these actors and artists, right? And then they go on to make millions and millions and millions from those films if they're successful, right? And then they set up people's careers, all sprout from that, right? But the artist and the actor never gets more than that initial payment, right? Now that is a problem, because that's intellectual property. Not just as a writing level, especially if they write some of their own lines, but as they're acting, their performance is an intellectual property, right? The performance of this piece of artwork, of this script, is intellectual property, right? And it's worth money. Not only up front, it's worth money in residual income, right? And rights in perpetuity. So, without drowning you too much in music industry jargon, right? Because you're not here for that. Why would you be here for that? It's not a music podcast, right? Music business is shady, right? And it's full of mobsters and gangsters. People that know how to move money under the table, get things done, make people disappear. It is all shady business. You have to understand that. I know it sounds like real fantasy the way I'm saying it, but it's real on a real level. For instance, yeah, in I think, well, let's just say from the 50s to about 1990, yeah? No, actually, from the 50s to about the year 2000, record company payola was a very legitimate practice, right? Payola is basically, we pay this DJ, we pay this shop to promote and to sell our music, right? Which of course has a knock-on effect on anybody else which is not paying to be heard, to be seen, right? And it's still like that to this day, but there's certain certain stigma to it now, right? But in the olden days, record companies would pay DJs, right? Mafia bosses and Shylocks and all these kind of people would pay people in the music industry through holidays, actual cash bonuses, drugs, women, you name it, right? Whatever they want to make our shit sell, we'll give it to you, right? And it's all black market business, even till today. But it's less, people like to hide from it today, like, and they'll hide it in litigation, but it's all in there still. It's still shady business, okay? So yes, artists are still getting taken for a ride in this day and age, right? It's sad, but it's true, right? And hats off to Bun B and those guys. But you have to understand, they got something out of it anyway. But so let's say the 5% of people that sign record contracts and movie contracts actually become successful and famous, they can then leverage that fame and that success to do other things, right? To sell products, to build brands, to build businesses, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But for the other 90% of people that don't get successful with these contracts and just get robbed, like the songwriters and the producers especially, it's sad, right? Because they never get that success and they're never able to leverage the work that they've actually done, the effect and the change they've actually made in the industry to better themselves and their families, right? In generational wealth and just even day-to-day survival, right? So they are being exploited, and it's very sad. Now, I know I went on a long diatribe, nearly 15 minutes in, but like I was saying, the people like Bun B, they may not be the biggest rappers, but you have to understand, even somebody like Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, your biggest rappers, your Katy Perrys, your Taylor Swifts, even Michael Jackson, right? The biggest people you can ever think of, all have at some point done shady business in the music industry. They've been robbed, they've been scammed, they've been used and abused, right? But they've managed to leverage a certain amount of success to make more success, right? And it's not right, that is how the business is, right? So yes, it's unfair, but I have very little sympathy for the most successful ones that moan, right? My sympathy and my heart goes out to the unknowns and the people, all the people behind these successful names, right? They're the people that need the sympathy. They're the people that need the rights returned. They need the payment plans. They need the health plans, and they need to be looked after, right? Because they make all of this shit possible, all of the entertainment, all of the little background music, the voiceovers, the engineering that we take for granted and everything, right? Because there's no movies without music, there's no TV without music, there's no cartoons without music, there's no games without music, there's no radio without music, right? We go on and on and on and on. I know, right? So yes, it's unfair, the system needs to change. The old power heads that control this whole thing need to stand down. They've made enough money now, man. Let the people eat off their work. Let's have a meritocracy for once, finally, right? That's all dreamer language, because money is money, business is business, and throats will be slit for money, right? Remember that. Backs will be stabbed, okay? So, heart goes out to you guys that have signed poor contracts. Next time around, get your business up properly, right? Bring a solicitor with you to look through this shit first. If it's not up to what you feel, then grab your steel, like Snoop Dogg said, yeah? Alright, anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Is it am I overanalyzing? Did I go too in depth, or have I just got it wrong and I'm just chatting rubbish? And the music industry is lovely candy floss. It's just beautiful over there. It's like a daydream. Yeah. You let me know what you think in the comments, right? Please like, subscribe, and share. Like I always say, it helps in the algorithm, not only for me but other content creators like me to be seen in the algorithm and not be suppressed by the same Mafia type business, right? No disrespect to the Mafia, because you guys are kind of cool, but you know, it does suppress all of the real working class people making content to entertain you and just to make a print on life. Like, we was here, we existed, yeah? So just try and subscribe and like and share if you can. You don't even have to do too much. It's not too hard, alright? If you could do that, it helps. It has a knock-on effect, and it tells the algorithm, it tells YouTube that, hey, we don't want to always see branded content, paid for business ideas, just copying the same video over and over and over again, the same thumbnails, the same titles, right? If you could do that, it helps, right? I know I'm going extra, but yes, let's keep real people real, let's keep freedom of speech free. Thank you for your time. Drivers Make podcasts on everything. Reach out on Patreon and request a video if you would like, right? But thank you for your time. Peace.